What is going on, everybody, right here on YouTube? This is Mix, and today I am here to give my review for WWE Raw, September 12th, 2016. I gotta say, I thought this Raw was a makeup in some way. It wasn't anything spectacular or good, but it definitely made up for last week's. Definitely did, at least in my opinion. The night kicked off with a Foley promo that led to Sasha Banks, Dana Brooke, Charlotte, and Bayley. I thought this was, on average, okay. I felt like they're trying to build Dana Brooke as like this underdog of some sort, you can say. But I'm still not buying into the fact that Dana Brooke is going to be this next big thing for the women's division. I don't know why she was brought up early out of NXT to the main roster. I think I mentioned this before. I think she should have served her time more in NXT. But eventually this promo would lead to the first match, which is Bayley versus Sasha Banks versus Dana Brooke. The winner faces Charlotte at Clash of Champions. I thought this was an average, okay women's triple threat match. I liked the double stomp on the turnbuckle, although Sasha Banks hit Dana Brooke, Bayley got out of the way. Very surprisingly, though, that Bayley ate the pinfall when Sasha Banks pinned her with the bridge. I think it was a bridge, or a modified bridge, so to speak. Actually, I thought it was a double pin, which would be a triple threat. But that didn't seem to be the case. Sasha Banks won the match and will be getting her rematch against Charlotte at Clash of Champions. So if you're looking at this from a best 2 of 3 perspective, Sasha beats Charlotte on the one Raw. Charlotte beats Sasha. So this is technically the rubber match in a way. I give this match a 2.5, maybe a 2.75, somewhere around that range. Maybe more so a 2.5. Up next was Bo Dallas versus a random jobber. This was a very quick, maybe 2-minute match. What was funny, actually, was the fans were actually chanting, "Let's go, jobber." I actually laughed my ass off at that one. I thought that was pretty cool. The jobber actually got a motivation than Bo Dallas did. But squash match, Bo Dallas wins. Not going to give it a rating, seeing that this was practically a one-sided fight. Up next, there was a Chris Jericho. Actually, it was the highlight reel with Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho's guest on the highlight reel was Sami Zayn. I enjoyed this highlight reel. I thought this was a very good highlight reel. I thought Sami Zayn did a very job well done. How he basically said that Kevin Owens is only using you, and that he's using you as your best friend, but he's going to turn on you. And there was another thing that Sami Zayn said, and I can't remember for the life of me what he said. Maybe I should actually jot down these notes now, what they said. It may come to mind what he had said, but very good promo. And then towards the end, Chris Jericho checks his cell phone, hits Zayn with his cell phone, gives him the code breaker. And they announced later on in the show that this will be Chris Jericho versus Sami Zayn at Clash of Champions. I think it's going to be a really good match, which I'll give my predictions more towards Clash of Champions. I thought this was a good promo. I give it a 3. A 3 out of 5 solid. I thought this was a really, really good promo here. Up next was Cesaro versus Sheamus in round 5 of the Best of 7 series. I thought this was okay. Very predictable that Cesaro was going to win. I loved the heelish tactic from Cesaro where he rolled Sheamus up and then Cesaro put his foot on the rope for some leverage and actually kind of got the heelish win from that. Love that part right there, just to try to get the upper hand on the win. So now Cesaro goes up to 2. Sheamus in the lead though with 3. But obviously it's going to be 3-3 with at Clash of Champions. It's going to be round 7. Very predictable. Once again, I'm going to give that prediction on that when Clash of Champions comes a little comes more sooner. That's what I'm trying to say. Like I said, the match was okay. Nothing really too special. Very predictable. I give it a 2.25 out of 5. Once again, very predictable. Up next was Nia Jax versus Alicia Fox. This was a domination match from Nia Jax. I did like the spot where she speared Alicia Fox through the barricade. And I gotta say, if they were to go on the route of Nia Jax just being this dominant force, this dominant female, I think it could work out with Nia Jax. She's got the look, and she needs to be that dominant female. And they really need like a dominant female competitor. I think when Karma was still in WWE, I think she was going to be on that path of complete dominance until that one female wrestler pulled off the upset. But Nia Jax, I think if you give her that role, I think she would do perfectly fine in that role. Once again, this was a dominant match. Match went on for maybe only 3 minutes. I did like I said, I like the dominance part. I thought the dominance was really cool. I'm gonna give it a 1.25 stars, and that might be saying a lot. I was thinking about giving this a dud, but I did like the dominance by Nia Jax. I think they should continue that path, so I'll give it a 1.5 stars. Or 1.25 stars, excuse me. 1.25 stars. Up next was the New Day versus the Club. Or, excuse me, Gallows and Anderson. This was an okay tag team match. Really nothing too special. I thought the match picked up a little bit more towards the end. There was a bit of a slow from beginning to the middle. The Gallows and Anderson, I almost called them the Club, even though they're technically the Club, but not really the Club. Gallows and Anderson hits, who did they hit it? I think it was Xavier Woods with the Magic Killer and pick up the win. Just because they got that win, I don't think Gallows and Anderson are not going to win the tag titles at Clash of Champions. Oh, and also, right before this match even started, I loved the little promo where they were about to show, or they wanted us to see that hideous, very hideous O-Day promo, and Big E was like, nope, we're not going to see that. We're not going to see that. And the fans actually cheered for that. And I said, thank God we didn't have to see that. We did not need to see that I don't even know what you want to call it, catastrophe of a promo. There you go, a catastrophe. But tag team match was okay, nothing too special. Gallows and Anderson pick up the win. I give it a 2.5. Also, it had a nice, decent time length as well. So a 2.5 out of 5. Up next was the man that comes in peace, Jinder Mahal versus We the People, Jack Swagger. This was a boring match. Crowd wasn't into it. The only thing they were into was saying "We the People," but that was just that. Jinder Mahal wins with some weird neck breaker of some sort. I didn't really know what it was. I give it a star. Like I said, really nothing out of this match. There was a backstage promo with Swagger, but Swagger didn't say anything. Say about his contract was expiring with Raw. So I'm assuming Swagger may be almost done with WWE, or is he just going over to SmackDown? I don't know. There was a backstage promo with Foley and Seth Rollins. Mick Foley basically warning Seth Rollins to not interfere with Kevin Owens and the Roman Reigns match, which I will continue from that a little bit on. Next up, though, was Enzo Amore versus Epico. This was fine in most ways, and it seems like they're building up the Shining Stars, which this is their second straight win, which is pretty surprising. They went from doing nothing to actually doing something. Epico gets the win with the help of Primo, basically holding his legs on the apron to where Enzo can't turn his body. Epico picks up the cheat win. And I'm assuming they're going to have a match at Clash of Champions, which would make sense at this point, I guess. I give it a 1.75 out of 5. That might be a little bit too generous to some, but I would give it a star and 3/4. Now, right before Owens and Reigns, there was a backstage promo with Rollins and Kevin Owens. I actually enjoyed this backstage promo. I thought it was really good, and I love the burn where Kevin Owens said, you know, your slogan is how it goes, redesign, reclaim, or rebuild, reclaim, or, oh God, sorry, I keep forgetting this crap. Redesign, you know how it goes. I can't think of it right now. But Kevin Owens goes, redesign, reclaim, replace. And I thought that was a killer burn right there. Very killer burn from Kevin Owens. And Kevin Owens is a great heel. And I thought he did a tremendous job as a heel in this promo as well. And then finally, the main event. Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns. If Roman Reigns wins, he will be in the Seth Rollins Kevin Owens match at Clash of Champions, turning it into a triple threat match. The whole match here was very slow. There was a headlock right before commercial break. There was a headlock after commercial break. Crowd was dead for the most part. And then Seth Rollins comes out, costs Roman Reigns the match. Mick Foley comes out, referees come out, they try to pull Seth Rollins away. Mick Foley says to restart the match, so the match gets restarted. The match actually picked up after after the whole Seth Rollins incident. And after the Seth Rollins incident, this match actually became pretty good. I thought it made up for most of that slowness. And then towards the end, Rusev comes out, temporarily distracts Roman Reigns. Owens pushes Roman off the rope, hits him with the pop-up powerbomb, and pins him 1, 2, 3, which surprised me. And I was actually happy that Owens won because I really wasn't looking forward to seeing Owens in the triple threat because Roman didn't end his feud yet with Rusev. So now they're going to pick this feud up again. And I'm assuming this is going to end at Clash of Champions, which would be the perfect way to end the feud at Clash of Champions. Next question is, do you make Roman win the U.S. title? That's a hard call right there. Maybe next week. I think next week would be that deciding if factor to see if whether or not he should win it. And by the way, repackage, reclaim, rebuild. That's the slogan for Seth Rollins, now that I thought of it. I give this match a 3.25 out of 5. Once again, it was a very slow match, but I thought the pace after the Seth Rollins stuff was really good, and Kevin Owens winning, I thought was a thumbs up right there. Overall, I thought the show was better than last week's with that catastrophe of a show last week. I think last week's show I gave it like a 6.25. This week I'll give it a 6.75. Not quite a 7, but close enough to a 7. Maybe generous, maybe out of curiosity, I could give it a 7, but 6.75, 7 range overall. And with that being said, this was my review of WWE Raw for September 12th, 2016. I hope you guys enjoy. Leave a like or a dislike if you enjoy the show. Leave a comment. Let me know how you thought. And as always, follow me on Twitter and follow me on Twitch. And until then, take care, everyone.